Hey, it's Nikki. Before we start the show, I wanted to invite you to download a free resource that I put together for you as the listener. This is my gift to you. You can get it right now. It is the 17 buying signals. Now, I wrote a whole book about buying signals, and I wanted to put it into a really simple format that you can have at your fingertips or in front of you whenever you want to. So I took out the 17 buying signals from the book, put them on a simple PDF, also gave you the kind of what to do when you get a buying signal, and explain what a buying signal is. So that PDF is available for you as a listener to go and download right now by going to yoursalesmaven.com/17. That's yoursalesmaven.com/17 so that you can start acting on these buying signals and closing more business. All right, when you're ready, let's start the show.
Do sales conversations make you feel awkward or pushy? It's time to ditch the outdated salesy strategies. Your guide, Nikki Roush, will show you how to combine kindness with selling skills to meet your prospects where they are, and in the process, how to up-level your influence and income. Learn how to earn business easily and effortlessly. Here's Nikki.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Roush. I'm your own sales maven here to offer you tips, techniques, and strategies to master your sales conversations. Today's episode is one of the Mastering Excellence series. This is a concept that comes from my background in neuro-linguistic programming, where we learn there is a structure to excellence. And once you understand the structure of how somebody is getting exceptional results in their business and or life, you can implement their structure and have similar results for yourself. So today, I'm super excited because we are talking to Tosha Dash. Now, if you didn't meet Tosha, she was a part of the Recession Proof Your Business Symposium. You really missed out. And so this is going to be a big treat for you today. Let me tell you a little bit about her. And here's her bio. Tosha Dash is a highly renowned serial entrepreneur and business consultant who aims to support small business professionals on new levels of scaling success. As a dynamic professional, she has an extensive 10+ year background involving the intricacies of building business credit, business development, and digital marketing innovations that has cultivated a strong foundation on what it takes to successfully foster profitable business growth. Growing up in a 2-parent home, she had resilience and a strong work ethic instilled in her early on. With this as her base, it became a catalyst for her to earn a bachelor's degree in business administration and an MBA from Claflin University. And in addition, she's held various corporate positions throughout her career, but ultimately chose to fulfill her entrepreneurship passions after firing her job. Oh my gosh, I love that line. During this time, she began her new chapter as an insurance broker and later expanded her expertise into the business consultation and credit building niches. Fast forward to today, she's the founder and CEO of so it's capital S, period, H, period, E, period, Dreams Consulting, She Dreams Consulting, where she has assisted and coached countless small businesses with their advancement efforts. This ultimately led her to become a recipient of the SC Black Pages 2021 Top 20 Under 40. Whew. As a person fueled by helping others succeed, nothing makes Tosha happier than delivering her small business clients the opulent support, education, and tools they deserve to excel within their designated markets. She has a genuine passion for what she does, designed her services on a foundation of transparency, integrity, and trust, and committed to helping small businesses secure a growth-driven future. Tosha Dash, welcome to the show.
Hi, Nikki.
I'm so happy you said yes to this. I think we're new friends. I consider you a friend now, and It has been such a pleasure. Every interaction with you, I learn something. I feel inspired. You are doing amazing work in the world. And again, getting to interview you for the Recession Proof Your Business Symposium, you literally blew my mind about the way I think about credit and using credit as a way to really propel my business forward. You are so inspirational.
Well, thank you, Nikki. I really appreciate those kind words.
You are, I'm just Yeah, I'm so excited to share you with my audience today. 2022 for me is about the year of connection. And I truly know that my success has been based on, in many ways, the connections that I've made over the years in business and really trying to surround myself with incredible people. And that's who I've been, actively seeking to come on the podcast for the Mastering Excellence series. So I have to say, when our mutual friend, Michelle Cooper, connected us, I was so delighted. I feel like I didn't know how much I was missing out on you and what you bring to the table. So
Well, I appreciate that. You and Michelle is amazing. Like, I absolutely love her. Her energy is like none other, but yeah, I love her. But I am very grateful to have connected with you too. I am all about networking, and networking makes the world go round. So if you're not networking, if you're not out here rubbing elbows with people, like, I don't know what you're doing. You can't sit home. You have to network, because we are not the masters of everything. So we have that one particular thing that we're great at, and then you have so many other people that are great at other things, and that's how you connect, and that's how you grow, and that's how you become even more amazing than what you already are.
Yeah, yes, amen to that. And that kind of leads us to what we're going to talk about today, because there's a lot of things that I could have asked Tosha to really speak on, but there's something that I think those of us who fall on the introverted side, which is definitely me, can struggle with. So I'm super excited to dig into our topic, which today is really how to talk to anyone, because you've mastered this. This is so much of who you are and how you show up. I mean, I felt an instant connection in our very first conversation. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so thrilled that I met you. And I just felt like, I feel like she's somebody who can be in my life, and hopefully I get to be in her life. And this is so exciting. Like, you have that, what I think a lot of people think is like, you either have it or you don't. But I think everything has a structure. So this is why I'm super excited that you're willing to share with us your own insights on this idea of like really being able to talk to anybody. And then from there, amazing things happen. Networks are grown, people collaborate, all these good things that happen because you're willing to extend yourself in this way.
Yes. Yes. I've always been extrovert. Like, even as a child, I was always that child. It was like everywhere. Every time I see any of my older aunts and uncles, I'm the one that's hugging and kissing. And my sister and brother were like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know. Like, it's just me, because they're not as, outgoing as I am. And it's just a natural thing for me. Like, I don't even try, it's just natural for me to just like, hey, and I'm a hugger. And so that ability has allowed me to transition and move different places in my life. Yeah. From college, from college to work, I've always had some type of employment because I've always networked with someone. So it's every time I wanted a job, I was like, "Hey, are you hiring?" It's just always just building that rapport. Even before I even know what rapport was, I already did it. And so it's just always great to have those relationships. It's always great to be genuine when you meet other people, and then it's just like the good things just continue to follow. Mm-hmm. And that's just that's been my story. And that's been my life, just to be genuine, just to be Tosha. And then everybody, sees and feels the energy that I bring when I'm coming around them. And then the great things and good things start to happen. And so I just absolutely love people. Like I do. I'm home. I can be a homebody, but when I'm out, I'm out.
I love that. Okay. So we're going to dig into your structure. We're going to tap in a little bit to your brain. So you get to just be you. And I'm going to ask you some questions and we'll see what comes up from it. So the first question I always like to start with is, if I was so lucky as to get to stand in for you for a day, so I get to become Tosha for a day, I get to think like you, I get to behave like you, I get to put myself out there the way that you do. What is something that you would say, if I'm standing in for you for a day, how would I have to think and or behave, whichever comes to mind for you? So in order to really be able to talk to anyone, what's something that's going to be important to making that happen?
I think, well, the first thing I would say, you just be yourself. Because a lot of times we feel like we have to be someone else because maybe they have a certain statue or a stature, and you want to be like, I'm just well polished and I'm really prompt and I'm, this person. And it's like meeting a queen, you have to be a certain way, you have to talk a certain way. But they came to you for a certain reason, and that's what I always tell myself. They came to you for a certain reason. So whether you have a slang or whether you talk a different way than what someone is normally used to, always be yourself, because no one can be you. I put up, that's your superpower. No one else is you. That is your superpower. So be yourself. Make sure when you are talking to someone that you're in a good space, because others can feel whether you're in a good space or not. And so you're in a good space, you're happy, and then just have fun. I am all about fun. I'm all about laughing. So if you're me, Nikki, you definitely have to laugh.
Okay.
You would definitely have to laugh. You would definitely have to have a joyful spirit, because it's easy to be mad all the time. You could just be mad and angry at the world. There's so many things going on in the world for us to be sad and angry, but I choose happy. And so, and you have to say amazing. Anytime I talk to anyone that asks me how I'm doing, and I always say amazing, even when I don't feel amazing sometimes. By the end of the day, something has made me amazing or made me feel amazing. So you just have to be amazing. Okay.
I love that. Okay. So I think you broke down the first part here. So be yourself. Remember that people are coming to you for a certain reason. There was something that attracted them. What are you going to do to be in a good space, to have fun, which I love that, have a joyful spirit. And I like that you said that you choose happy, because guess what? It is a choice. And you just like laid it out there. You choose happy. And when somebody asks you how you are, I'll tell you one of my, it's a little pet peeve, and I think it's because my grandmother at a young age pointed this out to me, that anytime somebody would ask me how I was, I would say fine. And she's like, there's nothing to that. It feels like very flat. So now it's a little bit of a pet peeve. Like if you ask me how I am and I say fine, I guarantee you I'm probably having the worst day of my life, because I always say I'm great or I'm good or like, oh, things are really great. Like I want to come from that positive. Like I never want to just be fine.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
It's just like a flat, just like, hi, I'm just here.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to wake up this morning. No, I not only am I happy to wake up this morning, I'm happy that I'm breathing, I'm talking, I can see my daughter. So I think about all of the things that can be taken away from me. And I'm just really grateful for those things. And so I start there in the morning, and I just use that to go throughout my day. And then when you say things like, when you say, I'm great, I'm fine, not I'm fine, I'm great, I'm amazing, it's going well, that energy will reflect back onto that person, because maybe they were having an awful day. And when I say that, a lot of people, they was like, whoa, you're amazing. So I've never heard people say they were amazing before. And he was like, I like that. I'm going to use that. Yeah. I appreciate that. And so you want to be a mirror image of what you want to reflect back to you. And so that's why I say I'm amazing, so I can get amazing energy back to me, because I'm not always amazing. And so if we're transferring good energy to each other, then we can all be in a good space.
I love that. All right. So here's my next question for you is, what are your goals when it comes to this idea of really being able to talk to anybody?
My goals are to really be on a stage and sharing my story, being able to talk to other moms. I was just talking to one of my daughter's friends. She's a mom. She's a single mom. And I was telling her I have a self-love day once a week. And actually, I'm going to have my self-love day starts as soon as we're off this podcast.
Oh, okay.
I am all about self-love, because for so long, I was always a mom and a wife, a friend, and I always put myself on the back burner. And then life changed. And then I was like, I don't know who I am outside of being a wife and a mom anymore. And so I decided that I was going to have a self-love day. And so being the type of person who puts myself first and not being unapologetic about it. Yeah. Because if I don't pour into myself first, then I'm no good for anyone. So having that self-love, that self-care is so important. And I want to be able to share that with other women who feel guilty because they have a day away from their kids or a day away from their husband or even a day away from their friends. And they can just have a day where they can sit to the table, have amazing food, because my self-love day always includes great food. I have to have great food.
I love that.
Yeah, I have to have great food and a dessert.
Yes, of course, dessert.
You have to have a dessert. I think about the dessert before the dinner. But just talk about letting women know it's okay to be selfish. We put connotations on words, and selfish is not a negative word or a positive word. It's just a word. And it's okay for you to take time for yourself, whether it's once a week or once a month, however you want to start. I just want you to start and love on yourself. And when you love on yourself, you pour into yourself, then you can give all of that back to others. And then it's like with a battery. When you get down to that orange and the red, it's time for you to re-up again and do the same thing. So I'm even teaching my daughter to do the same thing because I want her to understand about loving yourself at age 10. So when she becomes 40 like I am, then she will be able to, it's already a routine for her to make sure she takes time for herself. Yeah.
I love
So I want to be on stage telling all the moms to be selfish. Love you.
I'm wondering how many listeners right now are like, I feel like Tosha is speaking right to the heart of me right now. I hope for sure that there are listeners out there that are thinking like, I needed to hear this today, and I'm going to implement a self-love day. And the idea here is to be able to show up and talk to anybody, that there has to be, at least what I'm picking up here, and please correct me because these are, you're the expert on this, is there does have to be a real appreciation for who you are. So being able to talk to anybody, there's no hesitation around, will this person want to talk to me? It's like you're showing up from this place of like, I love me. And
everybody should love me.
Everybody should love me. Like, and not in a like an ego way, but in a way of like, I love me, and I'm going to show up from this place and almost give you permission to love you too. Right. Yeah. And then we get to like have this energy exchange. I love this.
Yeah. Okay. I love the good energy. It makes I just now I got a little tingle just now because you can feel it. Like when you can genuinely feel someone's energy, like just seeing the smile on someone else's face, it's going to make you smile. So when you go up to someone and they smile, then it's automatically within 2 seconds, you're probably going to do the same thing. Yeah. But if you're frowning, they're probably going to not come up to you. You don't have that welcoming face. Then that's when we start to think in our heads, oh, they don't like me. They don't want to talk to me. It's because you don't have that welcoming spirit. So let's choose happy.
Choose happy and have a welcoming spirit. This is, I think this is really good feedback. And I'm just going to comment here because this is a little bit, some of the stuff that I teach around sales is that even the way that you're showing up and the way that you're responding, you naturally draw people in and I think invoke curiosity. Because if you said to me, I'm amazing, I'm going to have a follow-up question to that. Like, I'm going to be like, what's going on? What's happened? And that gives you an opportunity now to talk a little bit about anything that's interesting to you, your business, or something, wherever you want to go in the conversation. So I think that you also are, whether it's intentional or unintentional, you're doing a really good job of creating some curiosity that will draw people in. Being welcoming draws people in, for sure. I realized this when I I grew up in Boise, Idaho. And when I moved to Seattle, in Boise, people, especially, it's not as much now because the city has grown so much. When I grew up here, it was like a big town, and now it's like a city. Okay. But, you don't walk by somebody and not say hello and smile. And when I moved to Seattle, it would freak people out because I would walk by them and I would smile or I would say hello, and they would stop and be like, do we know each other? And I'd be like, I don't think so. And they'd be like, well, why are you smiling at me? Or why did you say hello to me? And then when we moved back and my husband moved here with me, obviously for the first time, he was like, why do all the people in the neighborhood wave when we drive by? And I'm like, that's very Boise. Like, that's just how, like, and so it can kind of stop people in their tracks a little bit.
Mhm.
Then he got used to it. And now, now he waves. Like when we're driving down the road, he waves at people. And it's not a weird thing. But sometimes the people who aren't used to it, you can tell like, oh, they didn't grow up here because they're not used to the wave.
They kind of taken back from it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But it does,
and it's the same
draw
thing.
people in.
It does. And I'm from South Carolina. So we have that Southern hospitality. So it's just in me to always speak, to be a hugger. I know some people, when you hug them, you can feel the tension. They're like, oh my gosh, she's hugging me. Like, cause they're not used to it. But I'm like, with all the feels, like I am a hugger. And, so I definitely get it. I'm walking down the street, walking my dog. I'm waving at everybody. I'm talking to all of the kids. So that's definitely my spirit. That's my energy. That is me 100%.
And that kind of spirit draws people in. And especially if you're like me, that tends to be more on the introverted side. And honestly, I would love to sit in the corner and just people watch. That's always more fun for me than to have to talk to people I don't know. At the same time, it's good for your business. It's good for your spirit, I think, to build community. And one of the ways to build community is to be the person who is welcoming, to be the person who is exuding that energy that draws people in and allows them to like, oh, here's somebody who's going to be interested enough to have a conversation with me and make me feel welcome. I love this so much.
Yes.
Okay. So my next question is, what do you actually do? Like, what's your process when you want to talk to somebody? Is there anything in particular that you do to start that conversation?
Well, first, I do what we just talked about, just trying to feel the energy. Like, because, sometimes maybe they may not feel like talking, and that's fine. Everybody, we don't have great days every single day. But if I do make if I do make eye contact with someone and I smile and they smile, I feel like that's kind of a segue for me to be able to go ahead and talk to them. That's kind of like, I kind of open the door. I'm able to put my foot in, so I'm about to walk on in. And then it's just as simple as if we're at a networking event, just asking them, what do you do? Or asking them, oh, I like your blouse, or I like your shirt, or like you told me you like my earrings. Just something like that, just kind of be like an icebreaker.
Yeah.
It could be anything, I like your makeup or shoes. Women, we love makeup, shoes, clothes. And that's always a way that we both can feel comfortable on both ends. So it's not like we are being, you're not intimidating to me, I'm not intimidating to you. We can both come, we have some common ground. And then now it's a doorway, now it's the next level of us asking, okay, so, what do you do? And really be intentional and really care about and genuine about what the other person does. And then they ask you and say, now you have a dialogue. Mm-hmm. And then before I leave, I probably have maybe 4 or 5 numbers, and we're going to be networking or either connecting on social media. You never know, even if it's not right now, that we can possibly network or, work together. It could be something down the road, or just like you said with Michelle, it could be someone else that may be able to use your services or product. So, I'm always open. I talk to everybody.
Which I think is perfect. Okay. And this, again, these are some really great insights here of like, do you have some way to be an icebreaker? And if not, you might want to think of some ahead of time before you go into the meeting. If you're not Tosha and it doesn't come natural to you, then think of what is your icebreaker and be intentional. And then I don't know if you guys all pick this up, but Tosha did just mention the fact that she doesn't just leave that conversation and end it there. She's getting numbers. She's making connections that are going to exist outside of that first meeting, which, is going to help you with sales, frankly. So super important. And continuing to build your network, because even if the person you're talking to is not necessarily a client or somebody that you're going to do anything with, they may be the person that opens that door for you with that client. I mean, this, we mentioned Michelle, and this is how you and I got connected, because I was having a conversation with Michelle and I was like, I just don't feel like I hear anybody talk about, credit and getting any kind of like financing in their business. Like, it's not a topic that I ever hear anybody talk about. And she's like, I know somebody who talks about that and she's amazing. And I was like, will you introduce us? This is how this happened. So super fun. Okay.
And now you stuck with me.
Now I'm stuck.
Yeah. Yeah,
I hope so. I hope so. All right. Is there anything in particular that you pay attention to when you're in that mode of like, okay, I can talk to anybody? Is there anything that you look for? You mentioned eye contact. You mentioned like if they smile, that kind of gives you that segue.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else come to mind for you that gives you that permission to go, okay, I can start a conversation here?
Sometimes if the other person is really shy and they like, if it's somebody like you, if you're like kind of standing in the background and I'm like, well, hey, how are you? It's just kind of making them feel comfortable because sometimes they can talk, but it's just like they may not be the one to initiate the conversation. And so if you see someone like that, when you can just bring a nice friendly approach, again, not being aggressive, not be like, hey, so what do you do? You don't want that. You want to be like, hey, how are you? Are you enjoying the food? Because I'm the type of person, I want everybody to feel warm and fuzzy. I want everybody to feel good, and so especially if it's an event that I'm throwing. I don't want anyone to feel like they're not a part of the group or they're not connected. So if you are that person that is a little standoffish, not in a bad way, but because you're just not that person, then I'm gonna try to bring you to my world. I'll just try to draw you on in and kind of make you talk. And then from there, we'll just kind of see how comfortable you are. And then I always want to make sure that I don't over talk. I don't throw, the word that we use, we don't want to throw up on someone.
Yeah.
And so making sure that it's an actual conversation, you allow the other person to speak and be heard and you're actually listening, to what they're saying. So those are just a few things if I, see someone that's kind of not as engaged in what's going on around us.
You're so speaking my language right here. I love this stuff of, don't over talk, that you don't want, I call it word vomiting. Like, don't word vomit on people. Yeah. Nobody wants to be word vomit on. You said throw up on somebody, and then make sure you are allowing the other person to speak, that this is a conversation. So that means that you're both engaging, that you're both having an opportunity. And that you said the other like big, I'm going to say like the word that you should put a star by, listen. So important to listen, because people will talk if you're willing to listen. All right. So how do you know that you, like, if you're like, okay, I see somebody, I've identified them and we've had this great conversation. Is there a place where you go, okay, how do you know when to stop, really is the question. How do you know when you're like, okay, this conversation's run its course and I should move on, or whatever, like what comes next? Like, how do you know to stop is really the question.
I guess when it gets to small talk and it's kind of silent and it's feeling kind of awkward, then, you could find, gracefully like, well, it was great meeting you. I think I'm just going to, move around in the room. I'm about to go mingle with some other guests, or I'm going to go get something to drink, something where you're not being rude, but you can see that, maybe they're not as engaging and everybody doesn't always click, and that's okay. That's okay. And so, if you don't click, then, you just like, it was great meeting you, and you may not get a number because they're not your person. There's some people, they're your people. Like if I talk to you, like, Nikki, you're my person, but some people, you may not be my person, and it's okay. So it's, I want to be able to move around in the room because someone else may be your person and I'm blocking that person from getting to you. So I just kindly just leave and then just, mingle throughout the room.
So much grace in what you just laid out for us of this idea, like when you feel that conversation is coming to a close, that I like how you positioned it, that the last thing you said there is that you might be blocking the person who is their person. So it's important that you do kind of bring the conversation to a close. You've given us some great ways to do it. It was great meeting you. I'm going to go get a drink, or it's great meeting you. I'm going to mingle around the room. That's not, cutting anybody off. It's just like, that's what we're here to do. And I think that's a graceful way to end it, but that you're doing it from this place of, I'm going to open up this opportunity for somebody else to get to meet this person too. I think that is so incredibly thoughtful on your part.
Oh, yeah. Because we don't connect with everyone. And like I said, it's okay. I teach my daughter, we may not like everyone. Everyone may not like you, and not in a bad way. That's not a bad thing, because we're not meant for everybody to connect with everybody. You know, everybody has their circle, their circulation and movement and pieces, and everybody's meant to mesh all together. And it's okay. So I don't want to block that person from getting to their circle of people, the person that they were meant to meet, you know, when they got to that particular event. Because I feel like when you go to certain places, there's a reason why you were there. You know, there's a reason why you're invited. Is somebody there or something there for you to help you get to the next level, or, you know, something else that could be going on in your life. It's always somebody there for you. And so that's what I take when I go in. So I'm looking for, where's my person? When I go somewhere, I'm like, ooh, I wonder who's my person. And so in my mind, that's how I think. And I wasn't always like that. It was just kind of just going to go.
Yeah.
But then as I got older and I learned about networking, and then, you know, you talk to other people, like I have mentors, and then you have your people, you know, you have people that you connect with. And so now I'm learning, I don't want to hold anyone's spot. Okay, if this is not my spot, then I need to move on so someone else can get this spot. And then I have a spot, somebody's in my spot. So I need to go find my spot. You know, I need to go find my seat with my person.
Yeah.
And so because I don't want anyone to block me in my, you know, my purpose and what I'm there for.
Yeah. Have you ever seen I think it's a quote. I don't know who said it. I love it though. And we'll see, it might not resonate, but it's I may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I'm somebody's shot of whiskey or something like that. I don't think I'm saying it right.
I like tequila. I would like to use tequila, but no, whiskey's fine. But no. I think that is the actual saying, but I would use tequila in that saying.
Okay. So for Tosha, it's like, I just want to be your shot of tequila. Like that's good enough. And I don't have to be everybody's cup of tea in the room. I think that's really smart. Okay. So as we bring this part to a close, I always like to do a little something extra, let the audience get to know you a little bit better. So my first question for you, Tosha, because I actually don't know this stuff about you, is what's your guilty pleasure?
Oh, my guilty pleasure. And what I just had before the podcast are warm chocolate chip cookies.
Oh,
I am the cookie monster. I love Toll House cookies. Like I absolutely love cookies. Yeah. I have to work out because that's my guilty pleasure. Like I will be home under a warm blanket watching Netflix with about 3 or 4 chocolate chip cookies.
That's your thing. I was just at a conference a couple months ago, and one of the speakers, and he actually he showed pictures of this. He's like, I eat warm chocolate chip cookies every night before I go to bed. Like that was his thing. And I love that he shared that, and he had a picture of him like warming up his chocolate chip cookies. Made me laugh.
He's my person.
He's your
my
person.
I need to meet him. I need to meet him. I need to find him because he is my person.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Okay. How do you celebrate your wins in your business?
This is new for me, celebrating my wins, because I'm a keep your head down kind of girl and keep going. And then I don't really stop to smell the roses until they're almost gone type of person. But I celebrate my wins because I absolutely love client results. Mm-hmm. You know, some people, it's the money that motivates them when they get paid, but client results, it gets me like so hyped and so excited. So celebrating my clients, having pom-poms, you know, just like being really, because I'm extra. So being really extra with them. And then when they're not excited, I'm like, what is wrong? Like, why are you not excited? You know? So just celebrating my clients, just bringing that energy to them and letting them know, like, you didn't think it was possible to do this, and look where you are. And so being able to be a part of transformation in my clients' lives and celebrating them just one-on-one, it doesn't have to be with everybody, just one-on-one. Because some people are afraid. Some people are afraid to show excitement. But you have to show excitement with me. Like you have to give me something. And so that's how I celebrate my clients.
So I don't want to miss this because I know it's not the topic that we're talking about. But again, what you do to me is something, in my opinion, is something that I've never come across anybody who can say they do what you do and your whole philosophy. So I just want to touch on it really briefly because I don't want anybody to miss out on the opportunity to connect with you and work with you around this idea of utilizing credit, utilizing finances, or financing as a way to really scale your business. so I think for me, I was talking about it originally with you. It was like business credit, but you actually call it something else.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
business power. It's
Yes.
business power. And so I'm a business consultant, and what I do is I help businesses collapse time, collapse time getting to your financial goals by using other people's money. And when you do that, when you leverage your business, you have true business power where you can do what you want, whenever you want, however you want, because you have that financial security to do so. And since so many times, and Nikki, I don't know if you know this, 95% of businesses fail within their first 5 years of business.
Crazy number.
Yeah, 95%. So if you are going into year 5, I need you to celebrate. I mean, like really, really celebrate. If you listen to me, I need you to celebrate. If you're not going into year 5, may be the solution to you not being in that 95%. And then 50% of small businesses fail within the first 2 years. And the reason for that is because they don't have the capital to sustain their business. Mm-hmm. A lot of small businesses are self-funding themselves. Yeah. That's how I got started. You know, you don't wake up with the silver business spoon in your mouth. Yeah, you don't have it, but you have the drive, you have the determination, you have a dream. And so you do that with your own personal funds. But I have this saying, you start your business off grinding, but you don't have to continue it grinding. And so being able to leverage business credit, being able to use other people's money, also called OPM, is a solution to you not having that financial burden that you're probably feeling right now. It could be for that person who's every year they're trying to cross that six-figure mark, but they can't because their cash flow is scrapped. You're trying to figure out the strategy to get more money outside of your clients and customers. Your answer to that is being able to establish business credit and leverage it and making sure you use it to get a return on your investment.
Whew, powerful stuff. I know that you and I had a little conversation between our interviews for the Recession Proof Your Business Symposium, and you were asking me some questions, and you were like, "That's free money." Like you were talking about this. And so now I just have in my mind, it's like Tosha's voice now of like, Nikki, this is free money. Like you need to be utilizing this. And it's really caused me to rethink this idea of what I can do and how I can leverage what I have built to like get to that next level with this idea around business credit, and that really truly is business power. And I know you shared with me that this is how the big companies do it. They're using other people's money all day
using
long.
Our money. The money, right. Yes, the money that we're putting in the banks and we're leaving there for our 0.5% money back, whatever the interest that we're getting back off of it. Yeah. And they're using our money and we're going in, we're buying their products, we're getting their services, we're purchasing their food, and we're helping pay the loan back on the money that they're using, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's how it works. That's how the circulation of money works. And so I was just talking on my Facebook page about good debt and bad debt. And so a lot of times small business owners, I don't want to go into debt. I don't want to go into debt. Then I ask them, did you pay for your house cash? They'll be like, no. Did you pay for your car cash? And they'll say, no. And I say, all of that is good debt. So it's all about you being responsible with the finances that you receive, the capital that you receive, you leveraging your business, being responsible, having a plan, and then making sure you get a return on that investment so you can pay that back.
Yeah.
And then you can do it again and again and again.
I love it. Okay. So there's so much more you're going to want with Tosha. And so I have two more questions for you. First one is, what is something exciting going on in your business right now?
So right now in my business, I have my clients are getting so much money in their business right now. It is ridiculous. So the client results that I'm getting is amazing. And so right now we're just growing so much, and I'm just in this amazing, I told you I use amazing all the time. Yeah. So I'm in this amazing space of being able to get my clients results and getting them quickly. And so that's the space that we're in. We're just growing really, really fast. And it's just giving me goosebumps just thinking about it. So yeah, so that's the great thing that's going on with She Dreams Consulting right now.
Yeah. And I know Michelle had shared a story with me about, she's the CFO, like for one of your clients. And she was like, I didn't think Tosha was going to be able to help this client, leverage and get this credit that they needed. And she was like, but she did it. And she was like, I was so blown away. I'm so sold on what Tosha does and how she helps her clients. And that was really kind of that catalyst. So I love to hear that you are continuing to just help your clients reach these new levels of success. That is super exciting. All right. So people listening, they're going to want to connect with you. What's the best way for them to do that?
Well, Nikki has the link. So you have to grab it. And so with that link, I'm also giving away a freebie. Okay. So I'm not going to tell you what it is because you have to grab the link. Yeah. You have to
be in the show notes.
Yeah, so it will. Yeah. It will be. But, this is my purpose. Like I do all things business credit. I absolutely love it. And so I want to be able to leave behind a free gift for your audience, anyone who's listening, because business credit, leveraging your business will be a game changer for you. It will be transformational, not only for you, but if you have children, for your family, for your customers, and for generations. I'm all about leaving generational wealth. And if it has to start with you, let it start with you and your business. And let's get this money. Let's get it. Let's get this money and making sure we do what you're supposed to do with it. And let's make some money.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. And you also, I know that you at least I follow you on Instagram. So I know people can find you on Instagram. Do you know your Instagram handle? What's your Instagram handle?
I do. It's Tosh, the Biz, B-I-Z consultant. Instagram limits you on the word. So I had to abbreviate. So it's Tosh, the Biz, the Biz consultant.
And that will also be in the show notes along with her website. So if you are somebody who's interested in what is good debt and what that would look like for your business, Tosha is the person for you to connect with and take it from there. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your beautiful outlook and your structure behind talking to anybody and all the things that you shared. This was a real delight to have this conversation with you.
Well, I'm excited. I love talking to you. So this is this is a piece of cake for me. Because I love it. This is what I do. I love talking to people. I love sharing. I love sharing my purpose. I love walking in my purpose and just being authentically Tosha, unapologetically Tosha, selfish Tosha. I love all of those things. Don't stop the clip there at selfish. Okay, Nikki, I don't want to listen to be like, oh, this is selfish.
No.
I love the self-love Tosha. It took me a long time to get here. And so I'm sharing it with anyone that I come across, anyone that's a part of my journey, whether, I think of people, their leaves, their branches, and then their actual stems in your life. And so wherever you are in the journey, when you cross Tosha Dash, I want you to remember me as a joyful spirit and with great energy and good vibes.
For sure. For sure. And for you, the listener, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you showing up. I'd love to hear what was your takeaway from what you got from this interview with Tosha. And also, are you doing self-love days? Because maybe it needs to be a thing and we can all give credit to Tosha for our self-love day. And what does that look like for you? For her, we know it involves dessert. What does it involve for you? I want to hear. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Sales Maven. Visit us online at yoursalesmaven.com/maven for more resources to boost your confidence and skills.